Wagwan, everyone. I hope you're doing well, and welcome to my first Premier League preview coming up for this brand new season. You got a brand new channel for it. You got a brand new way of presenting this as well. I'm using a different platform. For the first time, I'm using StreamYard, which I've spoken to other people about. I've asked for their reviews. I've done my research itself. Spoke to someone who I watch on YouTube, Arsenal, myself, Harry Simeon. I'm part of his membership community. If you're an Arsenal fan and you haven't heard of him, go check him out. Go check out his page. He releases Arsenal content every single day. He gave me a shout out as well, which I was very happy with. And I'm sure some of you that will be watching this video as well, will have come from him. So thank you very much, Harry, if you do watch this back. Also, the Premier League prediction video, it was a live stream. It was my first ever live stream using this platform. That is now up. That got released 2 days ago. 2 nights ago, I did my spontaneous live stream. A few of you joined in, and thank you for those who participated. I've also got one more Premier League prediction video coming as well. I'm going to be doing that one as a specific video itself with editing, and I know I keep saying this in every video, I'm going to add more editing and use those things, but it's been pretty difficult to kind of plan for that, given the time constraints, given work, and I've got a life as well. So yeah, but this is a big part of my life now, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be honest. It is not easy, and I really do admire the people who do post multiple times a day, even if it is their job. It does take a lot of energy, and you're always constantly thinking. But also, I do want to mention, I will be putting the FPL code in the description. If you haven't joined already, please join the Tariq Talks League. I do big myself up quite a lot when it comes to FPL. I've won my smaller leagues for the past 3 seasons now. All the smaller leagues that I've been in, I've won. Yeah, does that mean I'm a good player? Does that mean that the people that I've been playing with just aren't as good as they make out to be? They do come up with all that chat, biting my ear off. Yeah, I'm going to beat you this year, Tariq. Come on, doesn't work. Even when money's on the line, I still do it anyway. These weekend previews will come every Thursday or Friday. Today, it's coming up on a Friday. I made an individual one for Arsenal on yesterday. If you haven't checked that out, go look at that if you're an Arsenal fan. It's pretty outdated now anyway. I will have a little gloss over Arsenal and add a little bit more to that preview as more news has come out since then. So expect for these to drop on a Friday regularly. I will be breaking down every single team's fixture for this weekend anyway, and for the weekend whenever they're playing. When the midweek games come as well, I'll be doing a review and a preview. And speaking of review, I will also be bringing a Premier League weekend review on every Monday or Tuesday, depending on if there's a Monday night game, because some weeks there might be a Monday night game. Like I think in the next weekend's fixture, there is a Monday night game. So, sorry. So yeah, that one will be coming on a Tuesday. If you do enjoy the video, please leave a like. Comment what you think your predictions are going to be for this weekend. If you're watching it ahead, then tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me how wrong I was and tell me everything. I want to interact with you guys and use that comment section for more than just the specific videos as well. So we can just interact and have a laugh and have a chat. Also, share this video and share any videos that you enjoy, because that means a lot to the people who you think will be interested, whether it's your friends, your family, colleagues, you name it, anyone that enjoys or you think might enjoy the Tariq Talks community. Don't forget to put on your post notifications, please, so you don't miss a drop. I have actually increased my upload schedule to what I initially planned, which was when I created this channel a week ago, just over a week ago now. I was only meant to post twice a week, but I'm enjoying it so much and making it a part of my life, and I really am loving it, and I really do want to see this grow and more people connect. So please, yes, post notifications on, share this video, like and comment as well. That will also help massively, and thank you for those who have done already. So time to share the screen. This is my first recording as well, guys, so if this ends up a bit messy as well, just let me know in the comments and what you think I can improve. First game tonight, with that bit of news about Arsenal and Brentford. Yes, Aubameyang and Lacazette are both out ill. So our two main goal scorers, our most paid players, I think so anyway. But I know for a fact there are top goal scorers and they are both out with illness. There are rumours that one of them is out because they're looking to be sold in the transfer window. I'm not too sure about that. I'm not going to speculate because we'll see. The news nowadays comes out really quick with Arsenal, and with the journalists that are hot on it, and with the way that Chinese whispers leaks, and that. So we'll see what happens. But I forgot to add my prediction in that video as well. I do think Arsenal will draw that 2-2, and I might actually have to change that because I can't see us scoring 2 goals with our 2 strikers missing, unless Pepe, Martinelli plays. Pepe might play as a false 9. We've seen that already in an Arsenal shirt with Mikel Arteta. But I want to see as I've said to a few of my Arsenal fans today, I do want to see Balogun play up front. I want to see him start. And then I would bring on Martinelli if it's not working, if this proves to be a bit too soon for Balogun. This is really throwing him at the deep end. He's got to take that opportunity. Coming to mind, I think of players who were thrown in because of illness or injuries, and they had to take it. Likes of Marcus Rashford. Man United fans will remember in the Europa League when he took that chance and he made his first Premier League appearance against Arsenal and he scored twice. So hopefully Leon Balogun, that's the wrong one. Following Balogun, yes. Hopefully he can come and make a similar impact. If he does that tonight, I'll be very, very happy. So yes, Arsenal versus Brentford. So let's move on into the first fixture that I will speak in depth, and that is Manchester United versus Leeds. I forgot to share the screen with you guys. Sorry about that. Manchester United versus Leeds, as you can see right there. So the last time these two faced, it was a 0-0 draw at Ellen Road. At Old Trafford, Man United blew Leeds away with a 5-2 victory. I remember that, Scott McTominay scoring 2 goals early on. Was it a hat-trick in the end? I don't think so, no. But yeah, last time Leeds beat Manchester United was in 2010, with a 1-0 win at Old Trafford in the FA Cup, with Jermaine Beckford scoring the winner for the League One outfit. Just a bit of team news for you as I move into it. Let's start with Manchester United. Man United will be without a number of players for this fixture. Rashford, Cavani, Henderson, Jesse Lingard, Phil Jones, Eric Bailly, Alex Telles and Amad Diallo. Don't ask me why I started reading the first names halfway out. But yeah, those are quite a few players, especially with the likes of Rashford and Cavani. They're looking to be starters for this season for Manchester United, I can imagine. So, and with Dean Henderson, he started quite a few games toward the end of the season. Jesse Lingard, who's come back with his loan spell at West Ham, a successful one, where he really helped propel West Ham into Europe. Phil Jones, who doesn't really play much. I forgot he was still at the club, to be honest. Eric Bailly, who United fans really do prefer than Lindelof. And obviously with Varane not being confirmed yet, that's quite a miss. So we're definitely going to see Magaluf at the back. Alex Telles as well. I don't think he would have started anyway with Luke Shaw's form and with how he came last season. And Alex Telles, who was signed as a decent starter, I think he was probably meant to come in as a starter, but Luke Shaw performed so well, he had no chance. And Amad Diallo, who probably wouldn't have seen anyway. So the big man himself, Jadon Sancho, could feature, but he's expected to start on the bench. Unless updates has come, like just as before I started recording this, then that's from what I last heard. For Leeds now, Llorente is the only worry for them. And it's going to be a difficult game given how Leeds play, but is made tougher with a number of key players out for United. That's definitely true. Even with the whole squad, in my opinion, I think Manchester United would have struggled in this game with how Leeds play, with how Marcelo Bielsa knows every single team inside out in this league and studies everyone. And being already playing against this Ole Gunnar Solskjaer team, he will have a brilliant understanding on how that is going to go and who's going to play and how they play. He's going to know every strength and every weakness. So I do think it would be a difficult game. It wouldn't be as easy as the first fixture last season where Manchester United did win 5-2, as I said. Also, for me, whoever starts in midfield for Manchester United, that is going to be key because it is expected that Matic will play alongside Fred as well, with Bruno ahead, Pogba on the left, Greenwood up top. No, Greenwood up on the right, and Martial up top. So that's going to be interesting to see. I feel like if Matic does play, that's going to be difficult because that midfield needs a lot of mobility with the way that Leeds play. Scott McTominay, as I said, he scored 2 goals, at least 2 goals if I can remember, last season in that fixture. So given that, I do see Scott McTominay playing. And if I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if I was a Man United fan, I'd be hoping to see McTominay and Fred, even though Manchester United definitely do need to sign a CDM, especially CDM, so that they won't have to play with the double pivot there to protect the centre-backs as well. Also, another reason why I think it's going to be a difficult game, United did start very bad last season. And guess what? They also started with a lot of key players out. Players not getting much pre-season minutes, which is the same, which has happened this season. I know they did play Everton in their last game and they won 4-0. And the big players who are fit did play in that one. And they did score as well and perform pretty well. But at this Premier League level, at the pace that Leeds do play and the fitness that the already natural fitness that these guys show, Man United are going to have to be on top of their game to win this, in my opinion. A prediction for this game, for me, I have gone with a Leeds 2-1 win. It's a bit of a shock, of course. Man United fans at Old Trafford, they'll be like, what? We got our fans back, 75,000 back at OT. But I do think Leeds are a difficult game, and I'm not a big fan of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So, and with the slow start you guys had last season, I do see that happening again. You haven't brought Varane yet. Varane, even when he does come, he's going to have to settle into the Premier League. As he's never played in this league before. He's coming from Real Madrid. It's a completely different style of play with different leagues and different players around him. I do think he will settle quickly, but he still needs to settle at the end of the day. He might settle quickly, but he still will probably take a few games to warm up to the Premier League. So we're going to have to wait and see for that one. Let's share the screen again. The next fixture on the list is Burnley versus Brighton. Last season, both games ended in draws, 1-1 and 0-0 respectively. Both teams have won 11 times and 15 draws. So this is quite an even game looking at that. So both teams have 11 victories apiece. For me, I'm not going to delve too much into this one, so I'll go into the team news. Nick Pope is fit and ready to return to the Premier League action, for the first time since the 10th of May, having missed the Euro 2020 squad. Kevin Long and Dale Stephens are recovering from injury. Dale Stephens, who used to play for Brighton, by the way, is now at Burnley. He signed for them last season. Didn't get many minutes because of injury as well. Brighton team news. Now, for Brighton's team news, Tariq Lamptey is a long-term absentee. Is his name Tariq as well, by the way? If any of you guys know, let me know in the comments, because my name used to be spelled like that and it was actually pronounced Tariq, like how it is now, Tariq Talks. So, you know what, for that sake, I'm going to call him Tariq Lamptey. He's a long-term absentee, whereas Dan Burn, Danny Welbeck and Moises Caicedo are all doubts. Enoch Mwepu is expected to make his first appearance for the Seagulls, having signed for RB Salzburg this summer. I've never seen Enoch Mwepu play. I've heard he's got very good reviews from the people that I listen to within the game. Brighton fans are probably excited. Is he there to replace Basuma, though? Is that what his initial signing is? Looks like Basuma isn't moving yet, so he could play in this game. And given that, and given the situations that both these teams are in, Burnley versus Brighton, for me, I'm going to go with a 2-0 Brighton win, As I predicted in my prediction video, if you haven't checked that out, please go give it a watch. I do think Burnley are going to have a bad season this season. They are at home, though, with the fans back and, the turf more faithful, do generate a good atmosphere. Sean Dyche, again, is very effective with his football. It's not the most pleasing on the eye. So it's a bit of a risk. I've gone with 2 away wins so far for Saturday. So, yes, I am going with a Brighton win for that one. 2 goals. I think Neil Maupay will score. I think Percy Tau, who's the South Africa international, he's had a good pre-season as well. We got Aaron Connolly there, of course. And yeah, I do like the way Brighton do play. I'm a big fan of Graham Potter. So I do hope that Brighton do take the win for that one. Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. That one is next at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea scored 4 goals both times in the league last season, winning 4-0 at home and 4-1 away at Selhurst Park. The home side have beaten the away side 31 times and picked up 15 draws, and Palace only winning 12. So given that, it already Chelsea the favourites in this game, given the way that both teams are projected this season. Patrick Vieira's brand new season for him, and the first Premier League club that he's managing in this league as well. I know I've just repeated that for the second time. But yeah, Chelsea, with all the hype that's coming with them off the back of winning that European Super Cup, they were our favourites anyway. Just some team news for Chelsea before I move on. Hakim Ziyech looks set to miss the start of the season after picking up, as what Thomas Tuchel said, a serious injury against Villarreal in the week. Crystal Palace team news. The Eagles are without Ebiri Eze and Nathan Ferguson, who have both picked up long-term injuries. Big miss there for me. Ebiri Eze for Crystal Palace. It's a quality player to watch. Once again, I know I say it all the time, technically gifted, pleasing on the eye, the way he glides with the ball. Creative player, has tremendous vision, eye of the needle, passes, and he's also got a good set piece on him as well. And he can definitely whip one into the top corner. So Ebiri Eze out until after Christmas, I believe, with that Achilles injury. Hopefully he gets back soon, because that Zaha, Elise, and Eze. There's the chant there already. Zaha, Elise, Eze. It's magic, Yes. Zaha, Elise, Eze. Is that work? Is that one? Crystal Palace fans, you might need to adopt that one. New signing, though, Mark Gahey, who signed from Chelsea, is a slight doubt. So who would start at centre-back for Crystal Palace? I know Joachim Andersen's there. I'm not even sure who else they've got at centre-back. So for that as well, with no Mark Gahey, I think Joachim Andersen and Mark Gahey would be the centre-backs for the future and what we'd like to see for the remainder of the season for Crystal Palace. For that, I'm going to go... Do you know what? I'm going to search right now exactly who Crystal Palace's centre-backs are. Crystal Palace. Sorry, I shouldn't be doing this mid-stream or mid-video, but let's have a look, because it's going to be interesting who they do decide to play at the back. They do have James Tompkins, who's still there. Okay, that makes sense. Joachim Andersen. Martin Kelly can play there as well. So I do think it probably will be James Tompkins and Joachim Andersen. So for that reason, I am going for a Chelsea win, of course, and I'm going for a 3-0 victory. I think Chelsea will take this by storm. Yet to have Romelu Lukaku, of course. So who's going to score for me? I'm going to guess for Timo Werner's going to bag one. I can't do the rest because I'm not going to be here doing all day for that. Let's move on to the next game. We're going for Everton versus Southampton. This one is at Goodison Park. The last time these two teams faced, Everton won 1-0 at Goodison Park, but Southampton won the first match 2-0. The Toffees have won this fixture 50 times, with the Saints winning on 32 occasions, with both teams sharing the spoils 23 times. So Everton do take this one usually, especially at home as well. But for the team news for Everton, according to reports, this is massive as well, Richarlison could be available to feature in the opening game of the season, having played in both the Copa America and the Olympics and making the final in both tournaments. Wow. So he's going to have the whole summer without taking a break. I know this generally does happen a lot with these South American, Central American players. Wolves fans, you'll know with Raul Jimenez before his injury, he had like 4 seasons where he's not had a break, a proper summer holiday. Like for the 2 weeks, he's probably had like a few days. Alexis Sanchez for Arsenal fans, that whole period up until he left for Arsenal, he was constantly playing for Chile. They had like the Copa America twice, they had the World Cup as well. So yeah, and then coming back and playing every game for the season for Arsenal. So that one is a difficult one. Richarlison, who I do think is going to be a key player for Everton as well this season. Sorry. That was a bit dry. Moise Kean is back in contention following his successful loan spell at PSG. However, he does currently have a knock, so you won't expect him to see in this game. Or if he does feature, he'll probably most likely be on the bench. Interesting to see what happens with Moise Kean, because I think that's how you pronounce it, Moise Kean. Yeah, with this season, because, you know, with Dominic Calvert-Lewin having a spectacular season last season, or in periods, I think he faded off towards the end. But it's going to be interesting whether Rafa Benitez does rate Moise Kean and will decide to give him a start. Jean-Philippe Baumann, that's how you pronounce it. I do know. I'm trying to learn. I'm getting used to this as well. I'm pronouncing on camera. And Andre Gomez, that's what I'm going to say. I'm not Derek Ray off of FIFA. Derek Ray, who pronounces the Portuguese names how they are meant to be pronounced, actually. So if you are Portuguese and watching, I do apologise. Are to be assessed ahead of the game tomorrow. So those two players, Baumann and Gomez, are to be assessed ahead of the game. So that's going to be interesting to see who plays in midfield. Also breaking out, I think I should give this a check as well. Sorry to do this mid-video. I did see this beforehand, by the way, that Everton, there we go, Everton, James Rodriguez, one of 5 Everton players isolating over COVID-19. Do you know what? I'm going to change my prediction for that reason. I did think that Everton would go and take the win for this game, given Southampton's troubles with the loss of Danny Ings. Also, let me just quickly run through the team news there. They do have quite a few signings, having lost Bertrand and Danny Ings. Broha and Armando Broha, who they signed from Chelsea, and Adam Armstrong, who they signed from Blackburn, may not be ready to start or be fit for their new club. So it looks like Che Adams and Nathan Tella will get the nod up top. James Ward-Prowse, who is one of their better players who has been linked with the move away as well, is a doubt. And he's struggling to come over a knee injury. That's big for Southampton because they do rely a lot on set pieces for their goals. And James Ward-Prowse's engine in the middle does provide a lot for Southampton, as they do play that 4-4-2 formation. So the midfielders are required to have a lot of running. Sam McQueen and Will Smallbone are the only other injury concerns. Those aren't key first-team players anyway. Will Smallbone had made a few appearances off the bench last season. And Sam McQueen, I can't remember seeing him for the past 3 seasons. Yeah, when he played at left-back and came in and performed quite well. I would, before this game, I do have written down in my notes, I did go for a 2-0 Everton win. Changed my mind. I'm actually going to go for a draw now. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And if I did have to pick a winner, I'd say Southampton. But because it's at Goodison Park and the Everton fans are back, I am going to go for a draw for this one. Leicester versus Wolves. Big one. Those of you, I've got quite a few family members who are Wolves fans, so they will be keen to be looking at this one. For me, Leicester and Wolves. It's going to be a good game, I think, this one. It's going to be better than what people think. This might be one to look out on Match of the Day. It's going to be interesting to see how Leicester start this season after just winning the Community Shield and beating Manchester City. Wolves with a brand new manager who's their second manager since they bounced back into the Premier League, and Bruno Laga. Different formation, new players been brought in as well. We've got some familiar faces that have stayed at Wolves as well, who didn't think that would stay. So just to give you some match facts on this one, only 1 goal. As I was saying, it might be an interesting game. I'm going to bring the balance here. Only 1 goal in the last fixtures between the two sides, with Leicester taking the victory at the King Power Stadium and a 0-0 draw at the Molineux last time out in the reverse fixture. So 1 goal was scored in this fixture last season. So after giving it all that big hype and saying you should look out for this game, statistics and records prove that, no, it might not be that exciting after all. So also, for the winners in this one, Wolves do come out on top, winning this fixture 43 times to Leicester's 39, and both sides taking even and coming out even with 35 times. It's quite an even game. If you like, Wolves just about tip it. For that, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm still thinking my prediction whilst I'm reading this out. Leicester team news: Fofana, as most of us know already, hopefully gets back soon. Is the major blow to come out from pre-season, having fractured his fibula. It was a horrific injury against Villarreal. Hopefully he comes back soon and in the same form that he showed whilst he was in the Leicester shirt. Daniel Amati is expected to deputise for the France under-21 international, while Johnny Evans and James Justin are not expected to return until after the international break. Yeah, James Justin, by the way, he was a top fantasy Premier League pick, and up until he got injured last season, he was playing most games. He played left back. He came with a few goal contributions, whether it's GA goals or assists. I was about to say GA. That's how I break it down. But just in case you don't know, GA, goals and assists. So yeah, I can't wait for him to come back. Hopefully he comes back fit as well, because that was another horrific injury he picked up. So yeah, pardon me, excuse me. Johnny Evans will come back after the international break. I think that's a big one, and one to be missed as well, as they are missing Fofana and Johnny Evans. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they do. They have just signed Yannick Vestergaard from Southampton as well, and that's been confirmed today, as I saw Fabrizio Romano said earlier. So the Wolves team news: Pedro Neto and Daniel Pedence are both out as they are recovering from surgery. So Willy Bolly, as I forgot to mention, Willy Bolly and Mosquera sustained thigh injuries from pre-season alongside. So that means Connor Cody or Max Kilman to start ahead with Romain Saiss, probably. Or it could be Connor Cody and Max Kilman together. Given that Romain Saiss has played pre-season, I'm going to go for... I think he'll go for experienced. I heard that he might be playing a back three as well, because when Bruno Lage was brought in, people thought that he was going to move into a back four. That's what he did play at Benfica. Let's go back and share the screen again. Sorry. There we go. No. But for me, I'm going to go for a Leicester win. 2-1. 2-1 victory. I do think both teams will score in this one, given that they're missing key players out of the back. Leicester, they have too much going forward for me. Maddison, Harvey Barnes, who I've got on my FPL team, by the way. I might show this at the end of the video. Maddison, Harvey Barnes, Ayoze Perez, Kelechi Iheanacho, Jamie Vardy. Yeah, I do think that might be a bit too much for Wolves, given their injuries as well. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. Next game that we're going to talk about is Watford versus Villa. So looking at this fixture, with Watford returning to the Premier League the following season after they got relegated, the last time these two played, Aston Villa took the victory with a 2-1 win after Watford won the first affair with a 3-0 win at Vicarage Road. Both teams have won 8 times both teams have won 8 times in this fixture and shared the spoils 5 times. So it's very even, this one. I don't think it's very even this season. If you saw my prediction video, I did go for Aston Villa in 6th. I do think they're going to go have a wonderful season. So before I go into the team news, Villa are the favourites for me. Watford team news: Joshua King and João Pedro will miss the opening game of the season while Nathaniel Chalobah is sick. For Aston Villa, new striker Danny Ings may get the nod up front, as Ollie Watkins suffered a bruised knee in the last pre-season match. Morgan Sanson and Douglas Luiz are expected to miss the opening game. However, the other new signings, Leon Bailey and Emi Buendia, will be available despite concerns. Ashley Young, who returned for Villa in the summer, could face the team he made his Premier League debut for, but that is most likely off the bench. Given those team news, the fact that Watford are missing 2 key players up front in João Pedro and Joshua King, who was brought in to bring them Premier League goals, as he did keep Bournemouth up for a couple of seasons. One outstanding season where he smashed it in FPL. My brother-in-law, Ed, you're watching. He beat me that season because of Joshua King. I do owe him a Nando's for that. I've said it on video, but I beat him twice, so does that make it? Do I win it? Double or nothing? So yeah, back to the video. Morgan Sanson and Douglas Luiz expected to miss. Douglas Luiz did win the Olympics with Brazil as well. For the team news that is given, so Ings probably play, Leon Bailey might, and Emi Buendia. I'm going for a 3-0 win. Wow. I do think that Watford will finish bottom of the league this season. So for that reason, 3-0 win. I'm not very keen on Watford's squad. Now that, especially that they're missing these two big players up front. I know they do have Troy Deeney, Andre Gray, and new signing Emmanuel Dennis up top as well. But, first Premier League game, I don't see them taking a win here. And I expect Villa to keep a clean sheet as well. Next game, we have Norwich versus Liverpool. Favourites, we already know who that is already. Liverpool typically come away with the win in this matchup, winning 37 times. The last time Norwich actually won in this fixture was in 1994. So for Norwich team news, Lucas Rupp will be assessed prior to the game on Saturday evening, with Milot Rashica and Grant Hanley will almost certainly start if the pair aren't heavily affected by COVID, as they did have coronavirus. So they're back in training. It depended on how they train today and how they feel, because everybody suffers symptoms differently. It's going to be interesting to see whether they do play, because Grant Hanley, key player at the back for them, one of their leaders, one of the people who's been there for a while, big player in the changing rooms, and Milot Rashica, who was brought in to provide the creativity and goals that has been now passed on to Aston Villa after they sold Emi Buendia. Milot Rashica, key player for them for me. I think he might perform as well. He might end up having a good season. I do think he's a very quick, pacey winger, likes to run in behind, likes to make runs beyond the striker as well from that wide position. So it's going to be interesting to see. Also for Norwich, Josh Sargent and Christos Zolis will not be ready for the starting role yet. Liverpool team news. So now this is what some of you might have been looking forward to hearing. Andy Robertson, no, I'm not sure you're looking forward to hearing this news though. Andy Robertson will be out for the next few weeks after suffering ankle ligament damage in Liverpool's penultimate pre-season game. So that means Kostas Tsimikas will start, and he has caught the eye of the Liverpool faithful with his performances in pre-season. Curtis Jones will also be out following concussion protocols. As I said, Liverpool have Norwich's number. Luis Suarez still gives Norwich fans nightmares at Carrow Road or at Anfield. For me, easy win for Liverpool. 4-1 I'm going with. Don't think they'll keep a clean sheet, as we expect Van Dijk to come back. I think Van Dijk will take his time to get back into Premier League form and sharpness and back to the level that he was playing at previously before he got injured. I do think it takes a while after suffering these injuries, especially at this top level. So I do think that Liverpool will concede a goal, given how Norwich do play as well. They're quite aggressive in terms of they're not a pragmatic team when they don't just decide to sit back. That's not how Norwich play. They do try and play possession football and attacking football. I just don't think they'll have enough to trouble Liverpool really, and Liverpool will score 4 goals. So I'm going for a Liverpool win 4-1, as I said. Now, we're going into the last 2 fixtures of the weekend. Newcastle versus West Ham. The Magpies come out on top in this fixture, usually picking up 58 victories to West Ham's 42. This game has ended in a draw on 38 occasions. Newcastle did do the double last season, winning 2-0 in the first game of the season, I remember this, at the London Stadium, and winning 3-2 at home in the reverse fixture. So some Newcastle team news for you. Freddie Woodman is set to occupy the goalkeeping position, with Martin Dubravka out with a foot injury and Carl Darlow suffering with coronavirus. Freddie Woodman, he has been linked to Arsenal, and I think those links might creep up again, given the news that we're not pursuing Aaron Ramsdale anymore. And we're still looking for a backup goalkeeper. And it looks like the club are looking for a homegrown player as well, someone that will fit into the homegrown quota. And Freddie Woodman has been linked with Arsenal before. This is whilst he was at loan at Swansea City, where he performed quite well and helped them reach the playoffs. Yeah, to me, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to keep a keen eye on this game, see how Freddie Woodman performs, as West Ham probably slight favourites in this game, given the bookies' favourites, I'd say. Also for Newcastle, Paul Dummett is forced to miss out with a calf problem. Callum Wilson and Alan St-Maximin will be the front two throughout the season unless injury and suspension decides otherwise. So yeah, expect to see Callum Wilson and St-Maximin start. For West Ham, the Hammers have more than a few injuries, with bumps and bruises to Angelo Ogbonna, Manu Lanzini, Arthur Masuaku are all uncertain. It's going to be a bit more than a bump and a bruise because otherwise they would play. But yeah, Lucas Fabianski and Alfonso Areola will battle for the number 1 position. And I do think this will be interesting to see who David Moyes does decide to start with. And then, so as I said in the Premier League prediction preview, Alfonso Areola is a better goalkeeper than Fabianski for me. But Fabian is not that much better. He's not where I feel he's going to make a massive difference to the first 11 with that signing. So, yeah, I guess it's improving the goalkeeper position. They are in Europe now. So, and he performed quite well last season for the relegated Fulham, one of the shining lights. For me, Newcastle do tend to win this game more often than not. West Ham are the better team and have been and had a much better season and do have a better squad currently. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. So, yes, I'm going to go with the draw here. And for the final game of the weekend, it is Spurs versus Manchester City. Probably the biggest fixture, given the storylines, the quality of the two teams, the stature of both teams. And, yeah, I'll break into it now. The Citizens just about scraped the edge on this fixture, winning 65 times to Spurs 63. So there's 2 wins between them, but 2 wins apart. There's 2-win difference, with both sides coming out even Stevens on 36 occasions. However, the last 2 times this fixture was played at Spurs' new stadium, the home side won 2-0 both times. Spurs fans will be holding on to that, especially in this new stadium that they're in. They do seem to have the edge over Manchester City. I think they also beat them in the Champions League as well in their stadium. Yes, they did, because they did end up progressing through. For Spurs team news, new signing and 55 million rated centre-back Christian Romero. I've never seen, by the way, so I can't give my judgment on that, to be honest with you guys. Who arrived from Atalanta this summer is a major doubt due to a knee injury and lack of fitness. So both of them combined will make him a doubt for this game. Harry Kane, who has been heavily linked to a move away to City, has just returned to training this week after all that speculation of him refusing to come to training. He's a minor doubt due to a lack of fitness, but we know how Spurs do with Harry Kane. I think he'll play. I think he'll probably start as well. We've seen with Harry Kane, after an injury especially, he does tend to need to warm up a little bit, and he's probably a bit rusty and sluggish in those first few games, and he's not he's not as dangerous as he usually is. But given the fact that Manchester City are interested in him, this might be also his showcase to say, pay that 160 million if that's what Spurs are insistent on getting. There is news that Manchester City will put a £150 million bid that broke last night. They're preparing to put that. I think that'll probably come after this game as well. That, who knows? That might be true. It might not be. It might just be a few mind games. If it was me, I'm all for that. I'm all for it if it's just mind games, because what better way to unsettle a player and unsettle your team by rumouring to bid 150 million for their best player. He has been heavily linked there already. But for Manchester City team news, Phil Foden is out with a foot injury that he sustained away on international duty in the Euros, and is expected to return after the international break. So we won't see him for the first 3 games of the season, I don't think. Kevin De Bruyne is another attacking midfielder who is out with an ankle injury. However, he could return earlier than his previously mentioned teammate. That, I think, is expected to come against the Arsenal. Then, yeah, how typical. That's when Kevin De Bruyne could make an appearance and could return and make his first Premier League appearance of the season. For me, I'm going for a 2-1 victory. Man City versus Spurs. Jack Grealish, we could see him play. We might see him start in this game. Man City do have the edge over it for me. Man City are always the favourites in this game. Don't always win, though, as I said previously. Spurs, I do think it will be a close game, but as I said, Man City will edge it for me. Spurs, with that missing defender and Christian Romero, who's their 55 million signing. Yeah, Nuno's first game as well. Heung-min Son. Will Harry Kane play? Who's going to play in midfield? Will Oliver Skip get a start? Who knows? But I'm going for a Manchester City win. It's going to be an interesting game, that. And I can't wait to do the review for this game, for this roundup of fixtures. Guys, I'm going to end the video here. It's a 40-minute video of waffle for ages. if you do watch it, and if you do watch it before the games, let me know your predictions and let me know you think it's going to win. Let me know your team prediction, whoever your team's facing. So if you're a Liverpool fan, let me know how you think you're going to do against Norwich. Chelsea fan, how you're going to do against Crystal Palace. Man United fan, how you're going to do against Leeds. Villa fan, Wolves, etc. So I'm going to wrap this one up here. Thank you for watching. If you do like this video, please leave a like and comment as well. Comment what your thoughts are, how you think this video went. Do you want to see more videos like this in this format? I will be presenting these mostly as a live stream. I just thought, why not use the recording version and give it a little test out as well. I do want to improve the banners and see my name there. I want to make that different color. I want to add more graphics to it as well. So we'll wait and see. But as I said, thank you guys for watching this video. Share it and subscribe if you have enjoyed this content and looking forward for more to come. Take care and enjoy this weekend, guys. Ciao.